Okay, this is a quick but absolute temporary fix to a leaking toilet. So typically what happens is over time this stuff starts to wear out, and no matter what you do, it continues to run a little bit of water, causing, in our case, we are on well water, the pump kicks on and off. But if you're on city water, you're still running extra water through unnecessarily. Now you can see we've adjusted this ball out quite a bit further so to put more pressure on it. We also put more of an angle on the shaft here to put even more pressure on it. And we've made adjustments, but these things are really rusty. They're in rough shape, and I don't really want to mess with them anymore. The bottom line is this needs to be replaced. But let's say it's a weekend, you don't have the part, you can't get the part, whatever it might be, there is something you can do in some situations. This happens to be one of those situations. What has happened over time is, number one, this stuff is worn out, so it's leaking by. And number two, of this ball coming up and putting pressure on this thing over time, you can see the pedestal, the tower here, is actually leaning back this way further. It's not upright anymore. It's probably hard to see with it full of water, but it is angled back. So again, it's putting less pressure on the valve in here. If you were to pull this thing forward like this, I'm pulling that way, it's putting more pressure on that valve to shut it off, and then it won't leak. Now, you don't want to pull far on this. You don't want to be breaking anything down at the base, but basically that's going to add a little bit extra that you need to stop that from leaking by. Now, you probably can't hear it, but it is still slightly leaking by. Now, there's several things you can do here. And again, I want to stress, this is an extreme temporary repair. It's not a repair. It's just a temporary solution until you get the parts and make the repair, the actual replacement of this component. And what you do is you find a cap. I got two different sizes here, and you're going to put it in behind this tower here to hold pressure on it out away from the edge of the bowl of the back of the tank here. And that's going to keep that pulled out and keep that just a little bit of extra pressure. Now, the caps you can see here are two different thicknesses because it depends on how far you need to pull it out and how much space you have between your tank and your pedestal water control system. In this case, I am going to use the narrow one to tuck in behind there. Now, I don't think I can hold the camera and do it one-handed, so I'm going to have to put the camera down. But basically when I'm done, it's going to end up back behind there. And we're going to see if that's going to be enough, or do we need to switch to the thicker one. Bear with me for a second. I'll do this and I'll show you. All right, so the thinner one actually was not enough. You know, the contour of that thing, you can see it's inside the cap. So by putting the thinner one in there, it really did nothing to pull it out at all. So I put the thicker one in, and like I said, you probably can't hear it, but it is no longer leaking by. Now what we need to do is buy a whole replacement unit here and get this replaced. But this will stop it in most cases, not all. If this happens to be the problem, this will stop that water from leaking by. It just puts that little bit of extra pressure. It basically stands this tower back up straight again. So when this stuff is all in position, it's putting that little bit of extra pressure on that valve, shutting that off. And you can see it's still, everything works still absolutely normal. Go ahead and flush the toilet. Yes, we have a lot of iron in the water here, as you can see. All right. And that should do it. And I just heard it kind of stop. It looks like the water tank is going to fill a little less now because I made that adjustment. So it won't go up as high, which is fine. There's still plenty of water to flush, and it's not up to the top of this tube here, which you don't want it running into that when it's not in use. So this is just a quick and temporary repair. It's not really a repair. It's a little trick you can use until you make the proper repair, and that's replacing this whole unit really, because it's just worn out, and so it's time to replace it. All right, I hope this little tip helps you out, maybe get you through a weekend or something like that. But again, make sure you get the proper components to make the repair that needs to be done as soon as you can. This will get you by in a pinch, but thanks for swinging by Shane's Main Shop. Please like, subscribe, comment, and come back often for more videos. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time.